teacher Geraldine. Today, I will discuss the lessons for this week, so please watch the whole video.
Keeping our heritage alive. Growing up in your family means being part of its practices, customs, beliefs, and values. At every stage of your life as a Filipino, there are certain traditions that you follow, handed down from your ancestors. Before our country was Christianized, our ancestors were either animists or Muslims. The animists have several gods and worship elements of nature, such as trees, mountains, rivers, the moon, the sun, and the wind. Other tribes believe in deities who brought blessings or punishments on human beings. Some tribes call their god Bathala. Some believe in anitos or spirits living in trees and bamboo groves or clumps. Some believe in river spirits of the rivers called Dewatas. The Muslims believed in and practice Islam, a religion founded by Allah with Prophet Muhammad as messenger. Agriculture and fishing were the main source of livelihood of the early Filipinos, who offered several rituals to the anitos to ask for favors for a successful harvest or catch. They then expressed their thanks and celebrated by dancing and giving offerings to the anitos when their wish was granted. During the Spanish era, some tribes did not accept the Christian faith. Some of them retreated to the mountains where they continued to practice their beliefs. Even some of those who were Christianized held on to their old customs and beliefs. Traditions involving fiestas and festivals. Filipinos today celebrate several fiestas and festivals. Most of these festivals have to do with rivers. These are called fluvial festivals and include those held in Apalit in Pampanga, Bocaue in Bulacan, and Naga City in Camarines Sur. Some of these festivals are a combination of present-day Christian practices and the folk beliefs of the early Filipinos. In most places in the country, May is the month of fiestas. In Lokban, Quezon, the townsfolk celebrate the fiesta of San Isidro Labrador, their patron of the harvest. This usually coincides with the tomato harvest. During their celebration, called pahiyas, the people decorate the front of their houses according to their occupation. For example, rice farmers place sheaves of palay or palay grains on the outer walls of their houses. During the San Isidro Labrador Fiesta, a carabao race is held. In the past, there was no problem in holding carabao races during fiestas. Nowadays, however, many rice fields have been converted into subdivisions or parks. Many farmers and their carabaos have no more fields to plow, and the sport of carabao racing has been affected by this change. Religious traditions. As a religious people, many of our practices center on church or religion. The Filipino calendar is filled with religious events and holidays. For Catholics, not a week passes without any religious activity. There is the Wednesday Novena in Baclaran, the Quiapo devotion to the Black Nazarene on Fridays, and of course, the Sunday Mass. Between these regular devotions are the daily rosaries. People of other faiths in this country also have their own traditions and beliefs. Some of them use the televisions and radio to promote their activities. The Muslims visit their mosque for their daily prayer or salat. They do this 5 times a day. During the month of Ramadan, Muslim Filipinos go on a fast. They do not eat or drink during the day from sunrise to sunset. Muslim Filipinos also try to make a holy pilgrimage to Mecca. This pilgrimage is known as the Hajj. Mecca is the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad. Here, the Muslims worship at Masjid el-Haram, the Great Mosque. Muslims celebrated two important holidays, namely Eid al-Fitr, end of fasting, and Eid al-Adha, Feast of Sacrifice. Practices concerning courtship and marriage. In the early times, many marriages involved dowries. A dowry, or bride price, is a payment usually in kind like gold or a piece of land given to the woman's parents by the man's family. The giving of dowries was believed to appease parents for the loss of a loving daughter. Before the woman's parents gave a permission for marriage, the man also had to render several services to the woman's family. The man was sometimes asked to gather firewood, fetch water, or help the woman's parents. Several old courtship and marriage customs are still practiced today. In the Tagalog region, some young men still declare their intentions of marrying a woman to the village or barrio elders. The villagers or elders in return organize the other young men in the community for a harana or serenade at the young woman's house. Practices concerning birth and childhood. Filipinos have different beliefs and practices concerning the conception and birth of a child and his or her growth and development. Among the Ivatans of Batanes, when a woman is about to give birth, all cooking fires in her house are kindled from hardwood. By doing this, it is believed that the child will grow up strong. In the Cordilleras, especially in the province of Ifugao, the birth of a child is a reason for great rejoicing. When a woman becomes pregnant, the Ifugaos perform a ceremony to ensure the woman's normal delivery and birth. When the baby is born, there are also rites done while the baby's umbilical cord is being cut off. Visitors are not allowed to see the mother until the sacrificial ceremony has been held. The baby is named, usually after relatives. From the age of 6 to 10, Ifugao children live with their parents. As they grow up, their parents teach them the beliefs and practices of their ancestors. They also learn Ifugao legends, myths, and folktales. In the town of Morong, Rizal, as soon as the woman conceives, her friends and relatives immediately prohibited her from eating certain food such as tuhat, twin bananas, or crabs because of the beliefs that this might result in a dark-skinned baby, in twins, or in a baby with crab-like fingers or feet respectively. The Tagalogs also believe in evil beings like aswangs, who are believed to have the power to get babies from their mother's wombs. To protect a pregnant mother from an aswang, a bolo is placed, its blade facing downward, between two bamboo floor slats to scare the creature away. It is said that this creature is also afraid of garlic. Thus, garlic bulbs are placed in conspicuous places in the pregnant woman's home. Practices concerning food. The pili, a thick shelled nut, is abundant in Albay and Sorsogon in the Bicol region. There are numerous beliefs passed on by the Bicolanos regarding the pili. According to Bicolanos, nobody plants a pili tree. It is a gift from God. You either have it in your yard or you don't. The Bicolanos also believe a pili tree needs a mate, so there must always be 2 trees in the yard. In Batangas, people observe traditional ways of ripening harvested fruits. Bananas and mangoes are buried in a rice bean to hasten their ripening. The rice is supposed to make the fruits warm, thus hastening their ripening. When one is cooking chicken or beef, one can add slices of green papaya to the dishes as these believed to make the meat tender. The mushroom is another food item on which there are a number of beliefs and practices. Indeed, even today, mushrooms sprout under bamboo plants after a hard rain, and they are a good substitute for meat. Practices concerning family. Filipino families are close-knit. Respect for elders is one prized value. In many families, the practice of the younger members kissing the hand of their elders as a way of greeting or as a sign of respect is still done. Among Filipinos, opo and po are equivalent to terms of respect which are used by both young and old to address their elders. The family is still considered the best support of children. Consulting the elders about problems is encouraged. Attendance at family gatherings during special occasions is also expected of children and grandchildren, as this is believed to strengthen family solidarity. Many Filipino families still do things together like praying, attending mass or religious services together, taking a vacation together, going to the mall together, reading the Bible or Quran together, and doing projects together. Some occasions are considered as sacred for Filipino families. These include family reunions on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and during celebrations of birthdays, graduations, and the like. Holy Week is also sacred for Filipino families as they take part in rituals which are faithfully observed in churches. Filipinos also honor and revere their dead. Families still practice the pasiyam, the novena prayers for the dead, and the babang luksa, the shedding of mourning clothes after 1 year to end the mourning of their dead. And on All Saints' Day, every November 1, Filipinos visit the graves of their loved ones. Practices based on values. In other aspects of life, old family practices are still being carried out. These practices start from the time you are in the womb of your mother to your birth and baptism. These practices are also observed during courtship, marriage, work, and even in death. There are many gifts from the past that we will enjoy at the present. Take our proverbs and sayings. They highlight many of the values we uphold today. These values include honesty, punctuality, pakikipagkapwa-tao, discipline, and commitment to hard work. These are the values you grow up with. You will likely pass this on to your children. Folk beliefs. Folk beliefs are old common beliefs which are passed on from generation to generation. The following are some folk beliefs. On planting and harvesting, one chooses the best days for planting to ensure good harvest. The presence, size, and light of the moon, sun, and stars are believed to play an important role in harvest. For instance, the ideal time to plant is when the moon is up. On the other hand, harvesting or cutting of bamboo should be done when the moon is small so that pests will not spoil the wood. 2. A person planting squash and patola should check that there are many stars in the sky to ensure a good harvest. 3. A person planting corn should not laugh, otherwise the kernels of the cob will not be plentiful. Next, on weather. Number 1. Hooting of an owl in the hills means one can expect the weather to be sunny the following day. The hooting of an owl by a river means it will be rainy the next day. Number 2. When a cat wipes its face with its paws, it is going to rain. Next, on house building. Number 1. To give good luck to the owners of a house, the posts of the house should be put up before 12 o'clock noon. Number 2. If a mirror breaks, bad luck will come to a household. Lastly, on food and eating. Number 1. If one is eating and drops his or her fork on the floor, a male visitor will arrive. If he or she drops a spoon, a woman will come. Number 2. When getting rice from the rice bin, it is advisable to refill the measuring cup before one puts it back in the bin so that the rice container will always be full.